Welcome to Flavours of the World here on Viking.TV. I'm Catherine Fulvio and I have a confession to make. I'm a chocoholic. I love chocolate and I have a very special chocolate recipe for you. It's my chocolate mousse pots. It's so indulgent. Perfect for date night, by the way. See the red roses? Yes, we're getting in the mood for a little date night. But listen, the point of this recipe is there's only 5 core ingredients. Who would think that 5 key ingredients could make such an indulgent dessert? And every one of these ingredients has a key role to play. The cream for richness, the Bailey's cream liqueur for that little depth of indulgence and that bite. I have a little bit of coffee here. Now the coffee enhances the flavour of the chocolate. And then we're going with an egg yolk and egg white separate. The egg white will give us lightness and the egg yolk will give us richness. Let's crack on, pardon the pun. So we just need at this point our egg white in our bowl and we're going to whisk it up. There we go. And then you always use a machine when you can in my book. So pardon the noise, off we go. Perfect. So what you want to do is whip up your egg whites until you've got just such tiny little bubbles, and that's going to give you lots of air and it's going to hold this mousse. Now we need to warm up our cream. So get the pan on, get the cream in. The warm cream is important because that's what's going to help us melt our chocolate. You simply bring the cream to scalding point. So that's just when you see a lot of steam coming out, and then in goes your chocolate. And then give it a quick stir and let that chocolate melt. The coffee can go in as well. And that's going to work so nicely together. Give it a quick stir. And in goes our Irish cream liqueur. So what we want to do is just get this chocolate fully melted and then just let it cool for a couple of minutes. Now that's melting nicely. Time for the egg yolk. Pop that in and give it a quick stir. You don't want scrambled egg here. The egg is really going to bring a nice richness to this. And also, of course, the egg yolk will help it set. Okay. I'm happy with that, but I need it to cool for a couple of minutes before I fold it into the egg whites. So it's cooled now. I can touch the bottom of the pan, which is good. Then I can get my rich chocolate mix into my bowl. Look at that. I mean, I just have that the way it is, to be honest. Okay, we don't want to waste any. Scrape it all out. Perfect. Okay, now we have our egg white and we fold one into the other. And you know what? This is quite an indulgent dessert. It's very rich, because you have the egg yolk in it. And I did put in the Irish cream liqueur, but of course you can put in things like amaretto or a liqueur of your choice, or just orange zest, or maybe a little bit of vanilla. Something like that will be so nice in there. The chocolate, I always use 70% cocoa solid chocolate. It's just that lovely richness, you know, that depth of flavour in here. And don't worry about the coffee in here in case you're thinking that's going to overpower. It's not. It was just a small bit of coffee and that really just enhances the chocolate flavour. It doesn't overpower at all. Now to fold, we're going to scrape under, flick up, cut through. Flick up, cut through. So you're basically breaking up a little of the egg white, but still holding the texture, because it's the egg white that's going to give this a little bit of lightness and airiness. And if you did not want to make this recipe with eggs, what I would suggest is you whip up some double cream and a little bit of mascarpone, and that will give you a little bit of lightness instead of the eggs. You want it nice and smooth. Now, if I was in my own kitchen, in my own time, I would have a go at pouring this from here into there. But no, I'm going to use a jug today just to be sure that I don't spill any of this beautiful dessert. Look at that. Now, I know you'll think at this point, gosh, it's quite loose, but do not worry. This has to go into the fridge overnight to set. So this is not a last minute dessert. You need to plan this one. we go. Right. I just have 2 cute little vintage glasses that I want to use. But I will say to you, it makes 4 of this size portion or 2 big portions. So I'll just get this in. So there's my 2. I'll put the rest in a bigger glass, I think. So I'll have a little bit for myself after date night. Right, this heads to the fridge now, and we'll come back and decorate later. And here they are, they've been chilling overnight. This is the perfect make-ahead dessert. You know, it's one less thing to think about when you're entertaining. Plus, when you chill them overnight, the flavours have time to meld. So you've got that coffee and the Irish cream liqueur balancing out the chocolate so nicely. And now it's time to decorate. And here I have some cream in a piping bag, and all you need is a steady hand and just go for it. And it's a little swirl of cream, like that, and nice. Yeah, that looks great, doesn't it? I like that. So the cream just adds to the indulgence a little bit. And then we've made these tiny little chocolate hearts. You don't have to make them. You can put anything on, sprinkles, whatever you want. But I think those chocolate hearts are so cute. So just peel them off carefully and just sit them on like that. Aren't they so adorable? There you go, 2 hearts on each one. I mean, that was just melted chocolate. This is the 72% cocoa solid chocolate, and it's just simply shaped into a heart. I say simply, it does take a steady hand and time. Now, I feel we need a bit of colour with that. So just some tips on garnishing. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. As it is, it looks pretty like that. But I have some raspberries here because I think raspberries work so well with dark chocolate, and the colour of the raspberries are so nice. And then I would normally use mint, but at this time of the year in my garden, the mint is hard to get. So I use sweet geranium, which is part of the geranium family, of course, but it's edible. I tend to use it more for garnish and for making syrups because it's quite strong in flavour. But it smells so aromatic, very floral, very distinctive. So let's go now with our little cap of raspberry here. We don't need to overdo this. That's so nice. And then just a little sweet geranium. There we go. And another little one here. That's so cute. And there you have it. And you know how I love vintage things? So here are some gorgeous vintage plates that I picked up locally. And some cute spoons. And this is how I would serve them, just very elegantly on a nice vintage plate like that. Gosh, I could probably manage both of them myself, but it is for date night, so I'm going to save them for later. So that is my simple chocolate mousse pots. I hope you get to try them. Let me know how you get on with these. So let's try some here. Oh my goodness, that is so rich, so indulgent, so chocolatey, but yet so light. And you know what? You just get that little hint of the Irish cream liqueur and just a wee kind of under hint of coffee, but nothing that stands out. It's just the deep chocolate flavour. That is delicious. Perfect for date night. It's a keeper. And if you're planning a wonderful Viking cruise to Dublin, don't forget to come down and see us. We're one of the excursions here in Ballyknocken Cookery School. I'll teach you a thing or two about Irish baking. I'll see you next time on Flavours of the Word on Viking TV.